All right, it's time to tackle our three sections here. Now, if you recall earlier, we actually created three different columns for our top navigation bar as well. So what we can do is we can use that same CSS and that same class in this section. So what we'll do is we'll go back into brackets. Let's go ahead and take a look at where we are. So let's move back into brackets. And let's go all the way to the bottom, and what we're going to do is, let's first go into index.html, and let's add our new sections. So this is going to still be within the div ID featured section. So let's go ahead and let's find our div ID feature section. So we're going to keep this inside of this, so above this closing div tag down here. So let's select the H1, or just outside of the ending H1 tag, and let's create a new div class. So let's give this class a name of, let's call it feature content. And this is where all our featured, obviously, content is going to be. So we'll have all three of our columns within this. So let's go ahead and close that off. And inside of these, we're going to have our three columns. So what we can do is we can create another div class, and then we're going to use our col3 that we used earlier. So this is actually something we've already styled. So let's close that off. Now within each one of these, what we're going to have is we're going to start with our image, we're going to have an H3 tag, and then we're going to have a paragraph tag. So to start off, let's insert an image in here. So let's do image source, and we're going to go to images, and let's use the couple JPEG as our first one, and let's go ahead and close that off. Now we need to add our H3 here, so let's add an H3, and I'm going to quickly open up our reference page really quickly and grab, let's see, mobile first always. So I'll type that, and then let's grab this lorem ipsum here really quickly so we don't have to come back and paste this again. So mobile first always. Let's go back in here. I'm not sure. I think that doesn't really make any sense. I guess it doesn't really matter. And now let's create a P or a paragraph. So let's use P. And let's insert that lorem ipsum. Let's go ahead and Control S, save this, and take a look and see what we have here. Okay, so there we go. So we have our very first one. Now what we'll notice is that this is running all the way to the left side, and this picture is way too big. So we can't really even tell if this is using the column 3 styles. So we want the image here to take up 100% of our column 3, and the way we're going to do that, and I'll show you what that looks like, is by going back into brackets, and let's go to our style.css, and we're going to add a new style here, and that style is going to be, let's go ahead and type, so we have feature content, and I believe column, so column 3, and then we're going to do image. So essentially we want every single image within a column 3 within a featured content to have this style. And what that style is going to be is it's going to be width of 100%. Now I know this is a bit confusing and that might not make sense, but if we were to just do column 3 image, it would make the width of every image 100% inside of column 3. So our logo image would then take up 100%. So we have to be even more specific and specify that we want this to be the images within the featured content class as well. So if we save this and refresh here, we'll notice that it is now the correct size. We just have some issues with spacing, centering, and text colors and fonts, which we'll take care of right now. Back into brackets, and let's do some more editing. Let me go back into index.html. We're going to need to change our featured content. We can go ahead and we could copy this, go back into our style.css, and I'm going to do this above the featured content column 3 image. Curly brackets. We'll also notice I'm missing my period in front of that for class. All right, perfect. And we're just going to give this a margin of auto. So it's centered, and we want the width to be about 80%. Now we'll notice that we no longer have this content touching the left edge, it'll be off. There we go, and we need to make sure that our text is centered, or at least this H1 tag. So back inside brackets, let's add some more stuff here. The next one is going to be, let's just copy this right here, the featured content call 3, and we're going to add a P here. So let's style our paragraph text within this as well. And I want to do, let's do a font size. Let's do 0.9em. We're also going to change the letter spacing. Let's do letter spacing of 1 pixel. And I actually want to go all the way up to our body really quickly and change a few things really quickly. So up to the body, we have background color and a margin. I want to add a few things. The first is the same font family we have in our HTML. So let's grab this, and actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's not change the body. Let's just create a brand new P style. So what we're going to do is we're going to select P, and we're going to add a few different styles here. Let's start with the color. I don't want the color to be black. I want it to be a little bit off black. So we're going to do pound 5D 6660. Now let's go ahead and change the font size, and we're going to take that up to 16 pixels. Perfect. Let's change the line height to 24 pixels. Perfect. And I'd also like to add the same font family from the HTML. So let's grab this, move it down here, and there we go. Let's save that. Let's go back in here. Let's take a look. Okay, so we have our paragraph text looks a little bit better. Let's take a look. Our mobile first is pretty good. Lorem ipsum here. It looks a little bit big, but that's fine. Maybe we can edit. This is what I want the paragraph text to look like when we just use the P tag. But let's go ahead and change a few more things in our styles. The first thing that comes to mind is that we need to center a few things, which we should be able to do easily. So let's go back down here. Let's do featured column P. We have font size 9em, letter spacing 1 pixel. That's fine for now. Let's see what else we might need to change. Oh, we need to add a featured content. Let's go ahead, copy our featured content call 3P, and we're going to change this to H1. Or let me go back and make sure. Oh, nope, we used H3. So we'll go back here, H3, curly brackets, and we're just going to give this a simple text align. Center. And we'll go ahead and save that. Now, there are some alternatives to doing what we just did there. And if we refresh this here, we will notice that this is centered. Does it look the same? Roughly the same. Let's go ahead and copy this and see what it looks like with all three. So back into brackets, back into our index.html, we're just going to grab this div class column3, and this is all going to be in the featured content, and we're going to copy it. We're just going to make two more. So let's paste it, and let's paste it, and let's save. And we're going to go up, and there we have it. We have our three sections. Now we need to add a little bit of padding. So let's go back into brackets. Let's go back into style.css. Let's take a look around featured content call 3. Let's featured content. One thing we might be able to notice is what happens if we take our featured content and give it a text align center, save that, and get rid of this entire statement here. And let me make sure that I save that. We'll notice that we still have our centered content here, and we also have this paragraph text is centered as well, which is how it is in our example. So it's good that we did that. Now we need to create some spacing and then change out these images. So back inside, let's change some more things. More specifically, we need to give the column 3s within the featured content. So featured content.col3, we can style that, and that's how we're going to get a little bit of that padding that we want. So let's go ahead and give that a padding of 10. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so one thing we'll notice is that now one of these is being pushed down because of that padding. Well, that's fine. We can go ahead and easily fix that. I'm going to take the width here of the, let's see, where is it? Let's go back up to column 3 and let's change the width to 32%. And that's not going to quite do it either, so let's take a look. Let's try taking that down to 30%, see if that's enough. Okay, so that is enough, but watch this. We notice that it affects our column 3 at the top, and that's not something we want. Well, the easy way to fix that is just to add a new style. So let's take this back to 32%. All right, so we fixed that. Now we need to go back down here and fix this individually. So we're going to go back into brackets, and we're going to go ahead and change our featured column 3, and we're going to give this a width, and I always do windows, a width of 30%, so we can have that override the column 3 style, and we have all 3 of these added up, and this now looks the same. So all we have to do is change out these pictures and perhaps add some more spacing here on the actual content down here. So let's change out these images really quickly. Shouldn't take more than just a moment. Back into our index.html, let's go to images couple, and let's change this to guy running. Let me just check the order of this. So we've guy running and then girl on phone. Now from couple to girl phone. So we've changed those images out to the top. There we go. We have our new images, and we'll go ahead and finish up the styling in the next video.